Hello Mavericks, my name is Quade Hamilton and I'm your host for Nitty Gritty. Today with me I have BJ Long from the Esports Club, and we're going to tell you everything you need to know about the Esports Club for this upcoming year. So BJ, I guess you can start with telling us what is esports here at CMU.
Oh boy, so that's a two-part question. First off, what is esports? Second part, what is it at CMU?
Yes.
So first part is, what is esports? Esports is pretty much just competitive video games. It is kind of a way for people to get involved in the gaming community and feel like they're part of something. For here at CMU, we offer two different parts for that. First, we're a club. Second, we're a team. So for those competitive, they can come out and be like, hey, I want to be part of the esports team, where they can pick a game, try and join one of our rosters, and get them off and competing against other universities and other teams. For the club, however, that's kind of more of a community. That's where we find our Maverick gamers. That's where we come together and we just play video games. And for all the people who game out there, it's always better to sit next to someone and have your mouse and keyboard so you guys can high five after a really cool play. So it's kind of just a way for gamers to be active on campus and come into a community where they feel warm and welcome.
Sweet. And so students that join the Esports Club, do a lot of them end up switching over to the team, or do some of them just stay in the club?
Oh man, that's kind of a hard one, because you either are competitive or not. Mm-hmm. You know, if you want to kind of compete in video games, kind of like if you wanted to join a club sport in any sense, you already have an idea of, hey, I know I'm good in this game, I can hold my own, I want to compete, versus, no, video games aren't a competition for me. I just want to do this to kind of have fun with it. I kind of want to sit back and be like, hey, this is my community, I want to have fun with friends. So, do we have people that switch? Yes. But is it common? No. Most people hunt us down and find us because they know that they either want to be competitive and they want to join a team right away, or they want to come down and be like, hey, I just need a group of friends to be able to game with. And so they don't really switch often, but it's not unheard of.
Okay. So if I'm a new student here at CMU and I want that community and I play video games, what's the best way for those students to reach out to you guys and start getting involved as soon as they can?
So, for those students who are brand new to campus and don't know anything about campus, best way to reach out to us is through our campus email. The directory has us nice and listed. It's e-sports. You just type that in, hit enter. It'll pull up our email address, and students can send us an email that way. Our social medias, though, are the second best way of reaching out to us. C-MESA-U Esports. Find us on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram, our DMs are wide open. Please feel free to just send us a message. Like, that's kind of one of those things that we want to be open to the student populace and just hear, hey, if you need anything from us, reach out.
Sweet. And what kind of games do you guys, first, I guess this is a two-part, what games do you guys play on the club level, and then what games do you guys actually compete with at the competitive level?
So for club level, you name it, we'll probably play it. I have friends anywhere from speedrunners who do like Subnautica, who do a lot of Borderlands, who do a lot of Legend of Zelda as a throwback speedrunning one. So it's like the big games as well, League of Legends, Dota, CSGO, Hearthstone, you name it, the club will play it. Competitive teams right now, we have 7 teams with rosters. League of Legends, Overwatch, Hearthstone, CSGO, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and Rocket League are the 5 games we play, with 7 teams, 2 of those games having 2 teams each. But as I said before, we're looking to make a Fortnite team, we're looking to make an Apex Legends team, and it's kind of whatever you guys want as a community. Speak up and we'll try and get a roster together for you.
Sweet. And on the competitive side, who do you guys typically compete with, and have you guys won any events or anything like that?
So the way that esports breaks down is it's not an NCAA sanctioned sport, and so we kind of have issues with that of who we're competing against. We've played teams from the size of Arizona State University, where we held our own against them. We sadly lost 3-2. 3 games they won, 2 games we lost. 3 games to 2 games where they just beat us. And we've played teams from Arizona State. We faced UCI, University of California Irvine, University of California Berkeley. We've played against Western University, the Colorado rival school, and pretty much it's just split, few and far between. It's based off the game ranks, And so if you're ranked really high in a specific video game, then you'll play other players at other universities that are ranked the same level as you.
Okay.
And so it's kind of weird in that sense. But have we won anything? We haven't won anything yet. We kind of have a little boiling pot of player skill levels, and so we're still trying to figure out who the better players are so we can bump them up into a team of their own and hopefully win a couple championships.
Sweet. And so as a student coming in, what would be the most beneficial part of joining esports?
Oh man, most beneficial part of joining esports is you're part of a community. If you're a gamer and you're feeling like, hey, I'm locked up in my dorm room, I don't have any friends, that's what we're there for. We're there so people can come out and kind of join communities, feel warm and welcome, and be part of a Maverick family. For other aspect of that, you're competing in video games. Esports is turning into a career where you can be a Twitch streamer like Ninja. You can sit in front of a camera and talk about the game. You can sit there and talk about the personalities of the game. You can kind of create a conversation so people can join you on your stream, as well as you're becoming analysts, broadcasters, you name it. In any professional sport, esports is kind of offering that in a professional level. A lot of pro teams are looking for social media managers. They're looking for behind the scenes people who do like content creation. They're doing a lot of stats and analyzing it, kind of like you would for a baseball hitter. It's pretty much just exploding into any other professional sport. And if you want to get into that field of video games, you want to make video games, you want to be a professional sport person some way, somehow, esports is perfect for that. It's kind of a way to get your foot in the door for a couple of different things.
Sweet. And then how old is this esports club, and how did it come about?
Esports club right now is 4 years old, but it came about when I was a freshman and I fell in love with the game League of Legends. I created the League of Legends club with one of my dorm mates at the time. Sadly, we were like always getting the question, hey, I like other video games besides League. Are you guys ever going to offer a club besides that? And so we kind of sat there and pondered on it, and that's where we transitioned away from just being the League club into being the video game esport club. And so that's where we kind of wanted to open the doors to being more inclusive of all the different options of video games that people might enjoy.
Sweet. And so obviously you guys have grown in those past 4 years and playing all sorts of different games. What consoles do you play those games on? I mean, obviously we have a computer right here, but what other things do you guys use to play your games?
So right now we're having issues with that. The leagues that we go through are mostly towards computers, just because it's easier way of communication. Consoles aren't quite to the computer programming level yet. We are looking for Xbox players. We're looking for PlayStation 4 players. We don't want to say no to Mavericks who want to say, hey, I want to play in this game, I want to play in that game. Sadly, competitive teams are focused right now on PC. However, we would love to still have teams that are available to travel and maybe not play against other colleges, but play against other teams. Consoles probably the way to do that. And so if you're looking to play, please reach out to us.
Sweet. And so you guys have already had tons of growth in the last 4 years. So what are your upcoming plans going forward, and what can Mavericks be excited about to see the esports club doing?
So for this semester, we're bringing a little something special to Mesa. Hopefully midway through October it'll be done that we can reveal it, but maybe towards the beginning of November we'll have something special to show on campus. If you're following our socials, we'll start to tease it a little bit more. I can't say more about it right now on camera, but for the club side, we're looking to do more events on campus. So if you're into Magic the Gathering kind of stuff, we're looking to do a couple tournaments, partnering with the Tabletop Gaming Club, as well as Magic the Gathering Arena, which is just the online version of it. We're looking to do a couple tournaments too with The Point, and partnering with some off-campus people called Split Screen Lounge, hopefully partnering up to try and do some more Smash tournaments like they've done in the past. That way we can get more Mesa involvement in video games and some Maverick pride behind us.
Sweet. And I've seen a few of those tournaments go up. And what are typically the prizes for those things? What can Mavericks see as, if they do win these things, what do they get out of it?
It depends on what's popular at the time. A lot of times we'll offer, sometimes, switches are on the agenda. I know Split Screen offered some some monitors and some switches last semester. With the new Pokemon games coming out, we're probably going to try and do Pokemon Shield, Pokemon Sword. For those people that want to blast from the past with nostalgia and haven't pre-ordered, the new additions yet. We'll hopefully offer them as prizes to first and second place.
Sweet. And I know you guys say you're not meeting quite yet, but where do you guys typically meet up, and where's that sense of community, meet all together typically?
So usually we were last semester meeting in Confluence Hall. That's the engineering building. We had computers that had League of Legends installed. This semester we're trying to lean away from that just while we let the engineers be productive students, and we're waiting for our surprise to be announced. Hopefully then towards the middle of October we'll be able to announce more where our meeting places will be. Till that moment though, we want students to say, hey, I'm interested in this, and check their email regularly. We have an online link that we're going to be distributing within the next 2 days for like a voice channel, a Skype group call sort of deal. The application's called Discord, and it's just a way of saying, hey, anyone online, yeah, 4 people respond, great, do you want to play this game? Great, boom, 5 people now in a voice chat so that they can talk and play video games together. So right now we have an online presence of Discord, but we're looking to try and figure out what room we can use for club meetings.
Okay, so say I'm a student and I've never played video games in my life, and I'm still interested in going. What would that look like for a brand new gaming student coming in?
So for a lot of new students who are like, hey, I like video games, but I don't have the means to do it, many of the players and teammates have ways for you to be able to do it. My laptop's actually on the coffee table right behind us, and I am not afraid to loan it out and let people try video games on it. I have a desktop at home that I can run video games from, and so if people want to come in and try it, great. I'll bring in my laptop, I'll bring in my desktop, that way someone can be playing on my equipment that I have for someone else. We have a lot of free game codes for people who maybe want to get involved in games and don't have ways. We reach out to the companies that sponsor the games and saying, hey, can you give us some swag to give out? And people are like, yeah, here. And the game companies give us packages of just game codes to hand out. And so if people don't have a means or don't have a way of registering, reach out to us. We can probably help you out.
Sweet. And what would you say your most memorable experience has been being a part of esports for 4 years and being kind of the start of it?
My most memorable part had to be the very first League of Legends meeting that we ever had. We had 12 people show up for that, and that was huge. Like, we didn't think anyone would show up for that as a freshman. And to go from 12 to now 81 people registered on OryxSync is kind of a huge deal. I was blown away by how much this has grown and just how much people are starting to embrace it. As pop culture kind of revolves more around video games, we've seen more and more growth, and just watching pop culture embrace us as an entity kind of has just been a warming feeling. Like being like, hey mom, look at me now, look at how I'm growing as a club, and being able to just say, hey, I'm helping all these Mavericks out. I'm creating a community for not just myself, but for people who will be here after me, to be able to carry on a legacy and saying, hey, I kickstarted that. That definitely is one of those things that is best moments of esports.
Sweet. And so, saying growth is your most memorable experience, what would you attribute that growth to, and how do you think that it happened and happened so fast, really?
Had to be social media and the school. The school really helped out with a lot of it. They were kind of finicky on picking it up at first, like, do we really want to support these gamers? But then they saw the career choices that it offers. They saw the culture that it brings, and they saw the kind of growth that it can bring to Mesa, and they just absolutely embraced it, and they said, how can we help? And the school just being willing to do a lot of things for us, and the school willing to put in a lot of the footwork for us, but allowing the students to run it definitely helped. Like, allowing it to stay a student entity definitely helped it being, hey, we're a club, hey, we're a student-run organization, hey, we're all students, is kind of a way for saying, hey, come back and be a part of this, come back and be student gamers with us.
Okay, well, sweet. Well, that will be our final question for the evening. Thank you guys for joining us. Please don't be afraid to join esports. Contact them on social media, find their email, get involved, figure out a way that you can be a part of this club, because it's a really cool deal. And thank you for joining us. I'm Quaid. See you next time.